is the future of insights and analytics? That's what we sought out to learn from our panel of experts, led by our facilitator, Elaine Boxer. She is Managing Director of SC Ventures, a hybrid investment and consulting firm. She's also a graduate of the Wharton School of Business. Welcome back, Elaine.
Thanks again, Gene. Good to be here.
So theme number 4, getting there. What does this mean?
So theme number 4 is the fourth of 4 themes in our exploration of the future of insights and analytics from the perspective of marketing leaders themselves, rather than from the perspective of corporate research groups or professional researchers. So in the first 3 themes, we explored from their perspective as marketing leaders, what are their goals and needs when it comes to research, insights, and analytics. So this final theme, we turned it around and said, okay, if we're going to solve all of those problems, how do we get you there? Specifically, what are you looking for?
What I really liked about your panel is just how diverse it is.
They are diverse, and they also have a great range of expertise, but they're all leaders in the marketing space for the most part. It's very hard to get heads of marketing and chief marketing officers in one place. We also made some changes on this panel as we went. We traded up, and we got some new folks who, as you'll see, made a really great contribution over the past few weeks.
Well, and certainly the information you're bringing us today is certainly going to bear that out, because I was really, really impressed with your data. Going over your executive summary, it kind of looks like they really want more interaction and more leadership. Term that I don't like using is hand-holding, but it kind of sounds like they really would like a little bit more of that overall.
I think what they're looking for is trusted, professional, informed advice. So when asking them, okay, how do you identify your potential external partners, your vendors, those who are going to help you answer these burning questions for market development, product development, understanding your customer better? And what came across loud and clear, usually there's not such an overwhelming winner, but what I heard in this case was case studies. They want examples of exactly how this vendor addressed another client's problem. What was that problem? What was the methodology that they applied? How did it go? And what was the outcome? The other thing that they wanted, again, not hand-holding, but they wanted to be able to talk about what their issues are with a trusted professional who then understands both their challenges and the options out in the space and can make recommendations. And I think there's also, dare I say it, an emotional issue to this as well. If you're going to spend this much money on a vendor who is going to be giving you such lifeblood information and data for your future decision-making about the strategic direction of your company, you want to feel secure and confident. And I think that having a conversation with a person you trust is really warranted in this case.
And I'd like in key point number 1, it sort of looks like they want more high-touch leadership. So they want this activity, right? Or this more personalized touch?
Right. So this is what we were just saying about the case studies and the personal advice. So when it comes to case studies, what they're looking for are, what is this vendor's expertise? What is their core capability? And give me examples of past projects where they have applied it. It also applies to what GreenBook might be providing. For example, you see in the first comment there, I don't think that she knew she was even referring to someone like GreenBook. She said aggregators. Mm-hmm. So something that these folks are looking for, give me aggregators who list out all the best agencies in this space, highlight their past work and expertise, and be that platform that connects me with them. So that was a request. And you see here also Michael said live person aid instead of ratings or statistic data. There's just this suspicion that impersonal ratings or static data are just not going to be adequate for, as he puts, the complex or needs requiring deeper thought.
And then as we get into key point number 2, they really like these case studies a great deal. And if it's in their own industry, they might like it even better. Is that right?
Yeah, we actually asked them, all right, if you're going to get some advice or you're going to get some materials that help you make decisions or become smarter about research, insights, and analytics, what would those materials be? And one of the things that they said is, case studies. And it also came out that if the case studies were in my own industry, that would be more valuable to me as marketing leader. They also said they would like sort of a crash course or a survey course in the industry offerings with descriptors of the strengths and weaknesses of the various players. And then, as we mentioned extensively in key point number 2, they're really looking for consultative conversations with impartial experts. That is one of the more valuable things that they would like.
I guess that takes us into key point number 3, which is, again, embedding is just really a popular idea, right?
I wonder if this came about because they don't realize that GreenBook and others like it exist. So their mind went toward, there's no one in my department who's an expert in this.
Right.
I'm having decreasing access to an expert like this elsewhere in my corporation because research is being cut. So how can I create an expert in my own group? And that's where this embedded or trained ninja idea emerged. Maybe if they knew that there was a trusted expert from a place like GreenBook who could be on call to help them, maybe they wouldn't have suggested this. It's an opportunity actually for GreenBook if they want to. This is a way to formulate stronger relationships with key clients, is to be seen as that trainer.
Mm-hmm. So, in key point 4, you talk about this is really such the big headache, right? With all this IoT and big data, the amount of information that we get just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it makes curating and managing it seem completely overwhelming. And I don't know how you can find a solution to that. Is that kind of what key 4 is all about, this overwhelming amount of data?
Yeah, and it sort of emerged from what kind of assets or help do you want? And it emerged as its own cry for help. So folks were saying, I don't know how to make sense of what's available. I don't know how to evaluate it. I don't have time to curate it. I don't know what I should be paying attention to. And even when it's brought to my attention, I am not an expert in assessing its quality. I need some help in organizing and curating all of the published market research, all of the news, all of the blogs, all of the research that's out there. I would love someone to help organize it and deliver it to me in a way that acknowledges what my focus is and what my corporate goals are, and is this relevant and is it high quality, and direct my attention so that I can manage the fire hose of data and information that is out there. The other side of it was even internally, not just the information and research that's out there, but the data and research that's in-house. So there's also an opportunity here, potentially. Just that internal management is a need in addition to the external data management.
And this is a great segue into key point 5, because this just seemed like we opened up the closet and just took everything out here. What is this all about?
We asked these folks, okay, we've talked about your problems, now let's talk about how to solve them. And for a good period of time there, they took this as an invitation to open up the floodgates and vent and develop wish lists of things they would ask their research vendors, which is not really the thrust of this exploration here, because this is about an aggregator, an advisor like GreenBook being able to steer folks to the best vendors. But they had a lot to say about what they're looking for in these vendors and what they're frustrated with. And I thought it was worth noting, and the sponsors of this board should really go back to the original key takeaways and even the raw inputs from the experts to look at what they were saying about the vendors that they're looking for, because in the course of advising them, GreenBook has to obviously take into account what are they looking for. I do think it has a lot of relevance. And one of the biggest things that the experts were talking about from their vendors is they're really looking for actionable advice, not just a big report. They even mentioned that they would love for vendors who could help them making a financial case. In a kind of related point, they're also looking for vendors who are willing to be mutually invested in the outcome, rather than just being paid for a methodology or a period of time. Maybe they're looking for performance-based incentives that vendors are willing to take on so that they can share the objectives and share more of the risk and the upside directly.
So tell us about these top 3 that really stood out for the panel.
So Christine and Vesha are not surprises. I think they've been in our top 3 pretty much all the themes since the beginning, full of really great examples. They have really great experience, and I've found them both to be very direct, and they were very prolific. And obviously, also to get to the top 3 experts, they also have to win a lot of the upvotes and approvals of their peers. I think a lot of what they had to say resonated with the rest of the panel. Now, Michael, he's a little bit of a latecomer, so he was invited to the panel a little bit late, and I think he was making up for lost time. So he had prolific advice and perspectives, and he shared a lot of his background in the last couple of themes.
Well, thanks for sharing all this with us and helping clarify exactly what it all means. Great job. Elaine Boxer, she's managing director of SC Ventures. It's a hybrid investment and consulting firm. She's also a graduate of the Wharton School of Business. And Elaine, I hope we talk again.
I would love that, and I look forward to it.